versus everything else. Yeah.
Welcome to another edition of ETE Everything Else. I am Marcus, the grand finale, and I'm joined by PWI's own. Top
Three
all three faces
faces
of Jemal.
of Jamal. You already know what time it is. This is the
Yes.
big list. This is the biggest list of all lists of the
500.
list.
Yeah, 500 names, 500 wrestlers. All of them probably in the incorrect spots. It's a lot of names.
Incorrect spots.
Lots of incorrect spots. And we are here. We are here to bring balance back to the universe by balancing this list off. Because I think at one point they just was like, oh yeah. Just threw a name right
Exactly.
That's what I feel like we were at. Oh yeah.
Son.
Maybe I can bump. Let me like you it was like being at a grocery store. You have all these items. And you can select all these items. And then you go, oh yeah, I forgot to get this these magic markers. I forgot magic markers.
You have 1,000 plus people out there that you could choose, but you can only choose 500. And yes, this is not just a sprinkled list of just men. It's women included, which is a fantastic addition, by the way.
Yes.
Like, I agree with this as, you know, the top wrestler in the world or the top wrestlers in the world. I agree that they should just include everybody all together. They shouldn't separate it because some women out there are killing it better than some niggas are killing it, but it's fine. But what's not fine is that there's some women on this list that had no business being ahead of certain people that's on this list.
Well, you got to take into account what the PWI list is about. It's about.
Did you see the criteria?
Attention. Yeah. It's about the clout they gain. You know, it's about the title belts and wins and losses and all that.
What company, the
company,
industry, what did they do for the business? Like, I get it, but just the 500 to 401 alone was like a little bit shocking to me.
Yeah,
it
was. I saw some people high up there. Shout out for Reggie for making this list. Who I don't think he probably made the
Reggie.
I was like, Reggie's on the list, but when you go like, damn, he barely does anything, and he's like close to Isaiah Cassidy and Evil Uno. You go like, damn, they were hard on this list. And I'm not even the biggest Evil Uno or Isaiah Cassidy fan, but Reggie almost got them beat. They're in the same point.
I'm just saying, it's just like you got some indie guys. Like, for example, I'm just looking off the cuff over here. Isaiah Broner, right? That's a big black dude. He's great. Like, he's good. He's really fantastic, actually. And he be doing like a lot of indie stuff and of that nature. If you go on like IWTV, have like a subscription and stuff like that, you can see some of his matches. He's fantastic. Why the fuck is motherfucking Reggie ahead of somebody like him?
Oh, so he didn't even make the top 500.
Son.
Damn. That's
motherfucking
tough break.
Who remembers Jesse Goddard from Impact Wrestling? Exactly.
I remember Jesse Goddard.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. I remember Jesse Goddard.
How is he on this list? I haven't seen this man
out there putting in work. So, with all the names that we've had out there, we decided to condense them. We broke them down into categories of, 500, 400, 300, top 100, and we had to select the top 3 in each of them, which seemed like it's a bit of a burden. It's a lot because the higher you get, the more like you'd be like, wait a minute, this guy, I want to, no, come on, nah, and then you end up in these complications, and then I hate my list because we were going to choose 15 each, and it was going to be the top 30, and I hate my list. I mean, I like it, but I hate my list. I just hate it. So
the list is you could see, you got to give credits to Chris Jericho for even coming up with a list to even make, because he came up with a list every week, putting names on it, putting it in order.
It's a lot of work, you know. And if you make the list, you got to get revenge on them. Man, it's a lot of work right there. So here we go, as in your 500 through 400 or 500 through 401. Who's your people? Who's your peeps?
All right, so I gotta give a special shout out to basically all my New York peoples. You know what I'm saying? My New York, New Jersey, tri-state area peoples that made this list. Shout out to Jay Bougie, who is part of like the SWF organization there with PJ Savage and stuff like that. Shout outs to Big Game Leroy, huge House of Glory guy. He made the list barely 495. Like, should be a little bit higher than that, but he barely made the list. You know, I'm just looking down the line over here, and you know, Ultimo Dragon made this list, bro.
You got that right, he did. He still holds titles in my
Ultimo
neighborhood.
Dragon at 465 is one of those like, wow, what?
Bro, you know he still holds a championship somewhere in New York. It's some indie promotion. He has up like 80 of them. Ultimo Dragon is going to make the list for some reason. But
and super crazy is at 449, like ahead of
him. Is he even alive?
Yeah, super crazy. Freaking Roland did like a photo shoot, or like he did a shoot where Super Crazy was a part of something down in Texas and stuff like that. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I said, this list is crazy. Like Charles Mason, shout outs to you, the root of all evil at 447.
I felt like that was really high. What the hell? Like Charles Mason.
Charles Mason's doing fucking work. He's about to have a fucking ladder match with Ken Broadway soon for the fucking Crown Jewel Championship. That's going to be crazy if you guys don't want to go ahead and peep that. HOG, man. Follow them. Watch that shit.
And, you know, I feel like that's really disrespectful that Charles Mason at 447, he's just barely above Kerry Morton, who I think makes the 500. But, you know, I feel like they both have better years than me and up here. I feel like if I know their name, if I've seen them, and I'm not in the multiverse of madness that Jemal's in, if I've heard of them and I've seen them wrestle, they shouldn't be in the 400 range. Like other people in this 400 range is Apollo Crews. What the hell? Former Intercontinental Champion. That was less than a year ago, and he's barely making the top 500.
You know who's ahead of Apollo Crews in this 400, 500 to 400 range? Kylie Ray.
Yeah. Who's retired 8 times.
How Sway?
How? She retired 8 times.
How Sway?
Hold on. Here's even worse than that for both of them. Ricky Morton in his 60s is higher than both of them. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn what history says or how many matches he's had or how many Canadian destroyers he pulls out of his ass. There is no way he should be at 402.
And then to top that list of like Solo Sequoia just barely makes it over Ricky Morton. So like everybody else that's above Solo Sequoia is better than Ricky Morton. You're not sitting here and telling me that Ricky Morton is better than the likes of fucking Yoshiniro Ogawa, JTG, Jimmy Lloyd, freaking I'll even say Kylie Ray, like you know, Apollo Crews, freaking Akira. Like, come on, son, stop playing with son.
This is the one that's gonna trigger you, Ricky Morton. And I know you don't even like this man. You don't even think this person has an ounce of talent, and you hate the Fisherman. Master Wato is worse than Ricky Morton, according to this thing.
You know what pisses me off? You know what pisses me off? You know what really pisses me off? Right underneath Master Wato is motherfucking O'Shea Edwards, the big bad kaiju himself. How the fuck is O'Shea Edwards worse than fucking Master Wato? I wish I had my O'Shea Edwards shirt. I normally fucking have it. Like, it's the yellow shirt that I wear. Like, Fuck.
I came in this with credibility with them. I came with them with credibility, going like, "Oh, these are the dudes. They know what they're doing. They've seen probably more wrestling than me." I came with them with credibility, with open arms and belief. But then when I started going through this list from each bracket of hundreds, I started going, "Man, y'all need to go somewhere. This is trash. This is trash. I don't care what their criteria is. I don't care what their rankings is. This is trash because just start seeing like they just threw names together. It was like they were just trying to come up with 500 names and we're thinking them off the top of their head.
I could do that as a better list.
Yes, that's it. From this day forward, there will no longer be a PWI list. There will be the everything else list, and that will be the definitive list in professional wrestling.
The definitive edition.
So, in our bracket of 400, who was your top three? Who do you have? The way we set it up in this.
If I was to choose the top people out of this list, or the people that you should be actually looking at on this list, definitely go ahead and check out Darius Lockhart, the Revolutionary. Definitely check him out. He's a little low on this list for me. Who also had a good year on this list. Definitely check out if you watch like GCW and stuff like that, Gringo Loco, O'Shea Edwards, I did mention earlier, everybody that was in Shane Taylor Promotions. I know Khan is now with Tully Blanchard Promotions or whatever the hell.
Is that still a thing?
Yes,
he kind of walked
away.
It's
Ring of Honor. It's Ring of Honor. AEW Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor Light. So but that doesn't change their ways, their wrestling prowess, I should say. But yeah, definitely go check those out. Yeah, man. Shout outs to Isaiah Cassidy for even making the list. This makes me wonder where Marquise Quinn is gonna be on this list.
What the fuck? So I immediately went, what the fuck? Because I didn't see Mark Quinn's name. And I'm saying, did he not make the list?
So
because I don't remember seeing his name. I was going through it because I remember specifically seeing Isaiah Cassidy and going like, "Oh, I wonder what Mark Quinn made it." Yeah. And then I remember going through it like not seeing his name, going like, "Fuck, he's worse than Ricky Morton."
Shit. I mean, like, do you think that Solo Sequoia is better than all those people that we mentioned?
Yeah, I ended up selecting Solo in mine, but I don't think he's better than a lot of them. I'll say he's about equal, but at least in there, because I was going with the notoriety and all that other shit they're doing, I had to put him higher. He's on TV at least, a national TV stage. He's a part of the Bloodline. I know that's more recently that he's officially a part of the Bloodline, but
I think that boosted him
on there
all the way up on that list. I think that's what boosted him, and then he beat undefeated like Carmelo Hayes for a long ass time. So
yeah, but this list was made before he beat him. This list was made before he beat him. So
that's ridiculous. If that's the case, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. In my top 400, or about the three I picked out about 400, I put JR Kratos, who I like, Pick Man. You can see him a lot on NWA these days.
And New Japan Strong, Team Filthy.
And New Japan Strong. Yep, Team Filthy. You can see him everywhere, to be honest. I see him in MLW. He's everywhere. I picked Solo because I feel like in this bracket there were a lot of people, but I picked Solo out of like basically more recent efforts and stuff. And then I picked Apollo. I felt Apollo was mad disrespected back here in these 400s.
It's a former Intercontinental Champion who beat a former WWE Champion to win the Intercontinental Champion. It just makes no fucking sense, bro.
Yeah, and this is all within their year time frame. Because I even looked it up. I was like, man, he's been losing. But how would he lose that one?
Tough.
Oh, the PWI. Levi, they paced Reggie at 490. I don't have Reggie ranked in my categories at all. He doesn't make the top 500. I don't even think Reggie's a wrestler at this point. He's more of a prop.
He's a valet. That's a big prop.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the 400 to 301 range. I hear myself. There was a lot of people in this where you go like, not bad. If they were going by their rankings and all that and their title reigns, Tyrus has been the TV champion for like forever. And He also featured on NWA, blah, 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 national media, most watched champion in the world, blah, 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 blah. Feel like he's a little low on this one. And I'm not even like his biggest fan as a wrestler, but I feel like he's low at 352.
Fred Yehai and Hikuleu, and no offense to both of those guys because I'm a big fan of Hikuleu, you know, Bullet Club for life. Fucking Fred Yehai, who's a fantastic African American wrestler. Y'all not better than Tyrus. I'm sorry. Tyrus was challenging for the National Wrestling Alliance Heavyweight Championship. Freaking, he's been the fucking the what was it, the national champion for the longest time, doing the damn thing. Motherfuckers on Fox giving business tips and shit like that. It's like, come on, man. He's on Fox News. Stop playing with the man. Give him the respect that he deserves.
He's the most watched champion on television.
God.
It's 100% true because those Fox News shows gets more ratings than wrestling at this point. But it's ridiculous. Put him higher.
The shooter is higher than him, and he hasn't won anything.
Yeah. Also in the 400 range, Matt Taven is pretty high up there. I'm not even a Matt Taven guy. Again, these are the people I'm not even the biggest fan of. And they're like, damn, 400. You try to tell me there are 400 better wrestlers than Matt Taven? I don't know. I'm not even his biggest fan, but he's a better.
I mean, there's at least 200 that's better than Matt Taven. I can say, but like, you know, when you look at the list and you see people like Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows as a collective, they're great, but singles competitors, Carl Anderson has a case, you know, being that he's been in G1 and, you know, wrestled single and all this other stuff like that. But Luke Gallows, we're talking about Festus. We're talking about fucking, you know, we're talking about Festus here, my guy. Nah, get him out of here. Danhausen is ahead of Matt Taven, and he hasn't done shit. Not a damn thing.
Well, he has what they call the move the needle clout button or whatever it's called. He does have that. He has that going for him. But
Diener is ahead. Diener is ahead of fucking Shooter, Doc Gallows, fucking Dr. Wagner Jr., El Terrible, and Puma King, and Hikuleu, and Tyrus, and Brian Pump. Like, no, get the fuck out of here. He's got to go way the fuck further down the list. Go down the list. So
I have a wrestler for you, and this has nothing to do with anything. I don't know who this wrestler is at 362. Don't Die Miles. Have you ever heard of him? Who the hell is Don't Die Miles? Just because I've heard that name, and I was like, I need to see this new wrestler.
What's his name?
Don't Die Miles.
He's one of those fucking those hardcore niggas. He's like the Spike Dudley of today or some shit like that.
Oh, okay.
And some people would say like he's a weaker version of what Darby Allin and Spike Dudley was.
Oh, okay. Dang, a weaker version.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see my boy Mittens on this list. I'm waiting to see
it. All right. So my top 3 in the 400 to 300 range. I went with Asuka, who I felt like, damn, they put Asuka high, but whatever. The women on here, they sprinkle really weird when I'm like, they have certain people like higher than Asuka. I'm going like Willow Nightingale. I like Willow Nightingale. Great wrestler. Fine. Not better than Asuka. Not better than Asuka.
Not better than Asuka yet. I don't know why Lufisto's on this list. She's been retired, like, you know. They
didn't get the memo.
Been retired long ass time ago, like 2 years worth. Your boy Max Dupri made the list.
He did, but I like that Aaron Hanari made the list. I really like him. I really just discovered him this year. I think he's a really talented guy, and he was with my Oscar selection. Apparently I went alphabetically. I went Oscar, Aaron Hanari, and then my last one in that selection of the 400 to 300 or 1 or whatever it is. I went with Grayson Waller. Hasn't done shit at all, but I do like Grayson Waller. I think he has enough charisma. He's a really good wrestler, underrated wrestler. and I feel like he's the next up and coming of the Miz, MJF kind of mold of wrestlers.
All right, so for me, right, shout outs to Tama Tonga for being kind of high on this list. I mean, the guy's beating Okada, the guy's beating Jay White in the G1 in the Jay White Cup. Yes, it was the Jay White Cup. Fuck out of here, or the J1, the J1 tournament. Freaking yeah, Tama Tonga, you know, shouldn't be where he is, but he is there. And it's crazy, especially like being kicked out of a group like Bullet Club and trying to work your way back up and stuff like that. So shout out to Tama Tonga for being kind of high on this list. 312, that's where he's at. I don't know how Mike Bennett is better.
No, you got it mixed up. Tonga Loy is 312.
Where's Tama Tonga at? He's lower than that.
No, I think he was higher. He was higher.
Is he gonna be in the other? Nah, Tonga Loa. Oh man, I'm sorry, I looked at the list wrong. Oh shit!
It happens.
Fuck, it's just 500 wrestlers. What do you expect me to do?
Keep track with them all. All right.
I'll put another person over who is also in that three, like, you know, between 310 and 320. So I'm putting another person over, Royce Isaacs, from Royce Isaacs being part of the National Wrestling Alliance with Nick Aldis and Bram and everything of that nature, and to working with Team Filthy, the work that he's done with Tom Lawler. He's wrestled some of these guys in New Japan, and I was very thoroughly impressed by what he's done. Definitely, for sure, he's going to be on that list right there. If I got to give a shout out to some people that people may not know, that I know that people may not know, give a shout out to Danny Limelight, also part of that Team Filthy alignment and everything like that. He's been wrestling in MLW, doing like this. He's like the missing puzzle piece to a lot of fucking factions that's in different promotions. So like in MLW, he's with like LAX and stuff like that. With New Japan, he's in Team Filthy. He's wrestled in FSW, that's the Las Vegas indie promotion out there, and he's been killing it with like Chris Bay, Ice Williams, like Lights Camera Faction, stuff of that nature. So, you know, if you gotta peep him out, he's a fellow Marine. Danny Limelight, that's that guy right there. And then on the end of that spectrum, you know, I gotta shout out to the women out there, and I'm gonna have to give it to, unlike Asuka, like as much as I like Asuka, but I'm gonna give it to Willow because, you know, I've watched her. She gave me my fucking tattoo. I'm just gonna, you know, it is what it is. I'm being biased. I don't give a fuck. These motherfuckers are biased.
They have weird biases too. Tattoos rank you pull up higher. All right, noted in the everything else top 500 wrestlers list. If you get a tattoo on your wall, you are going to be ranked pretty high. Yeah, so that was that one, and then we're going to the, where are we at? 300, right?
Yep.
300 to 201.
Yep.
So this would, I saw some names where I was going like they probably shouldn't be in the list this high. Like they have Rich Holland up this high, and Sonny Kiss is up this high, and I feel like, yeah, I know who they are, but do they really do anything? Like all these people haven't really done anything. Joey Janela's up here in the 260s. He'd probably be in my 400 range. I wouldn't have the Butcher or Isaiah Cassidy below the Joey Janela at this point. I feel like he doesn't have those. Yeah, he got that going for him.
Another name that fucking strikes my attention right now, and he's been killing the Southwest. He's been killing the Midwest. He's been killing the Northeast. Shane fucking Taylor. Shout out to Shane fucking Taylor, man. This guy is like, he's what we're missing in wrestling, and he's below Sonny Kiss. He's 281.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
I went, man, that's high. I mean, not high, but you know, low.
You're not
you know what I'm trying to say. It's not in the right spot. That's what I'm
You're,
trying to say.
you're not telling me Diamante is better than people like Casey Navarro, fucking David Ali, Shane Taylor, Chris Adonis, who Shane Taylor is slightly above. Like it just doesn't make any goddamn sense. Butch, who is Pete Dunne, you're not telling me that fucking Diamante is better than Pete Dunne, bro.
Yeah, like when you go through this list and you tell me that Sonny Kiss is better than Pete Dunne and Dolph Ziggler and Shane Taylor
and
like,
Ridge Holland
and Alex
and
Zane.
Shane Taylor and Alex Zane, who had a heck of a year.
Yeah. When you go with those names alone, you go like, what the fuck are we doing? Hell, Dominic Mysterio should be ahead of Sonny Kiss.
How is Dominic? First of all, how is Dominic Mysterio ahead of Joe Black? Who Black like get out of here, bro? Make no damn sense.
They literally like this sport. I just go like they just saw names and were just throwing people out there. Like it just seemed like what? Who? Why? Like it's so weird. It's so weird. Like I'm not putting Shane Taylor behind Warhorse or
absolutely not.
Like LA Park. LA Park, really? I love me some LA Park. I love La Parka, but it's not his time anymore. He beat up him and his guys beat up Takapatu.
Like, come on, son. Stop the madness. Like Dalton Castle, freaking Brian Keith is where he needs to be.
Yeah.
If Shane Taylor is behind him, it should be like Brian Keith, Shane Taylor, or Shane Taylor, Brian Keith. Like it should be like right there next to each other. But Brian Keith is a little higher than expected. But he's been doing the fucking work. Bounty Hunter. Yeah. Tipping on full foes. Repping full rows. Tipping on full foes.
So in this top like 200 to or 300 to
it's 300 to 201.
Yeah, in this range, I selected Butch, formerly Pete Dunne, is one of my guys. El Phantasmo, who was in this, and I thought he should be a lot higher. And then I selected Miro because I was like, I love me some Miro. Miro's a great character.
I got three different names.
Ooh. Who you got?
Oh, you were waiting for it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm done.
Juice Robinson.
Yep.
Juice Robinson.
Yep.
Should be actually Juice Robinson should actually be higher on this list. Yeah, he's done a fantastic job. The transition from flamboyant Juice to rock hard. And this is not me being Bullet Club biased. This is just based off of his character and how he fucking flipped the switch and then made it work to what it's supposed to be. I was skeptical at first because of goddamn the rock hard, like you just have to say it obnoxiously for it to work. So
yeah.
So shout out to Juice Robinson for making this list. Another person that made this list that I'm looking at that has done a fantastic job, Blake Christian, the wrestler that wrestles everywhere. That motherfucker wrestles everywhere. Blake Christian is doing fantastic work.
Anywhere.
If you don't know Blake Christian, just YouTube him, and he's just really good everywhere he goes. He's wrestled in NXT. He's wrestled in MLW. He's wrestled in New Japan. He literally wrestled everywhere. Mexico, you name it. And then I'm gonna have to give my boy Shane Taylor. I can't say enough praises about Shane Taylor, like Shane Taylor Promotions, what he represents for not only like the Black community, but for like wrestling as a whole, like changing the narrative, not like, CYN or nothing of that nature, but like basically changing the narrative of what wrestlers should be, the big tough fucking, I'm fighting anybody, I don't give a fuck type shit. That's who you want. And then the big close, like I know there's three, but Brian Keith, the Bounty Hunter, if you haven't seen any of his matches, everything that he produces is a fucking banger. So
really,
he's gonna face Myron Reed soon. I can't wait for that. So
that's gonna be an MLW match?
Nah, it's actually one of those indie show joints, like the IWTV joints.
Oh, okay.
I can't wait to see that.
Let me know. I wouldn't mind checking out. Brian Keefe, you said I've never seen him, but I do like the name the Bounty Hunter.
Just know you be tipping on full foes, repping full roll. Yo, that's his entrance music. Man. He's represented by them. What's that group? Slaughterhouse, Trap House, whatever that group is. He's actually sponsored by them, so part of that group. So yeah,
nice. Sponsored wrestlers. I didn't even know we did that.
Yo,
this is represented by them.
Yeah, Little Scrap. If I see Little Scrappy on this fucking list, I'm gonna fucking lose my goddamn mind.
Well, coming in at 260, Little Scrappy. Yeah, so that was that part of the list. There was a lot of people who were in like weird spots in that. Like, we just go on and on with people when you go like, man, this is like a weird list. Like Rick Boogs is high at 224. Rick Boogs hasn't did anything but play the guitar. How the hell is he above David Finlay or even Eric Young or Santana Ortiz Miro?
So to defend Rick Boogs, it's like basically he worked himself into a WrestleMania spot, even though he didn't succeed. But he worked himself to a WrestleMania spot, so I can give the nod. But he's not better than half those niggas on there. So like, no,
Rick Boogs is higher. The only reason he's really known, and I'm gonna say the only reason that guy's on is Pat McAfee dancing on the table for him and getting everybody hyped. Because honestly, Rick Boogs is high. He got injured.
Damn, you gave Pat McAfee and Shinsuke no credit. You gave Shinsuke no credit. You said Pat McAfee dancing for him.
It's Pat McAfee dancing. Shinsuke's out doing his own thing. Shinsuke's doing his own thing. Shinsuke's doing his own thing. It's all Pat getting up and yelling for both of them.
Oh my god. Pat McAfee gets the nod.
Pat McAfee gets the nod for getting Rick Boogs over. All right.
We're getting down to that nitty gritty, man.
Nitty gritty. The final six, who we know in our group, in our brackets, in our bracketeers, the top 200, basically. A lot of people in weird places, but you know, I honestly gave up on this list somewhere between the 500 to 400 range anyway. So there are people who I think should have fell off on this list. Like Jeff Hardy could drop a bunch of nods because of all his issues, and he hasn't really done anything technically. Ethan Page could have fell a little bit. I like Ethan Page a lot, but he could have fell well below like people like Jeff Cobb or
Robbie Eagles is way too high on this list. Sean Spears is way too high on this list.
What did Sean Spears did? To be honest, I found Tamatonga by the way at 187.
Okay, so he's gonna get the credit where I was gonna give him back to Tongaloa and stuff like that. Tongaloa is where he needs to be because of the injury. Can't knock him, but yeah, Tongaloa and Tamatonga. The Young Bucks are right there together.
I like that Tony D'Angelo is higher than both of the Young Bucks. That's nowhere a crime, right? That's a crime. I feel like that's wrong.
And then Page's brother is right above him.
Yeah.
You're not telling me Page's brother is better than fucking Shane Taylor and fucking Isaiah Cassidy and none of these niggas that we just mentioned before. You're not sitting there and telling me.
Again, this is when I think they start throwing names together when you go with Tamatonga, yo. It's like, wait, what? Where are we going? We just throwing names out, huh? And then show, and then it's like, oh, okay.
The disrespect to the Great Muda for being underneath Noam Dar and Max Caster. Listen, yo, listen.
But
I'm a better wrestler than the Great Muda. What?
Hold on. The biggest disrespect in all of this is that they have, you know, Lance Archer, Fred Roser, Jeff Hardy, Killer Cross, and all these other guys. All of them ahead of Claudio / Cesaro on this list. Right there, basically one of the best wrestlers in the world. In my top probably 5 or 6 current wrestlers right now, or somewhere in that medium. Cesaro is at 190 something. where I'm like, man, that's harsh. That's harsh.
So Cesaro's at 191, right? And then
Yeah.
you have fucking the bloodline, Jimmy and Jay ahead of him. Jay at 139, and then Jimmy is at 147. But in between the Usos, who are probably the greatest tag team right now in wrestling, aside from FTR, in between them, you got guys like Tony Deppen and Roosh and Davey Richards and Masato Tanaka. So, like, you know, it plays out a little differently. Jay gets the nod over his brother because, like, you know, he is the right hand man. He is the driving force. Yeah, he's main event Jay. So, like, you know, I can see the nod there. They did something right here for once.
And may I chime in with, I hope neither one is the driving force. I would hope they have someone driving for them.
We don't want no more to you.
That should bump them down on the list. I'm just saying. Get it together, Usos.
But Darius Carter, who just cracks the 150 range by 149, that's a little low for him. For me, like, he got to go higher.
He's been doing a lot. Check out Darius Carter. He's basically, as we said a few times on the show, he's the Black William Regal, a Daniel Bryan type wrestler, you know, technical wrestler type, old school. Beat him on the ground, technical. He's really good. He's really good. Check him out as well. There's a lot of people who you just be like, check out. And then, you know, once people see him and once they get that mainstream attention, the sky's the limit for him.
I don't know why Jeff Hardy's on this list.
Yeah. Jeff hasn't did anything.
Nick Gage
is high as hell.
Nick Gage is high? What?
I'm sorry, I went a little too high. I was at Nick Gage is at 112, but I went too high of the category we're at. But
112. So who's better? Who?
I mean, we can go into that later. There's a lot of people better.
There's no way. There's no way, bro. Nah,
it's 100%.
Fuck out of here. Evil is way better than fucking Nick Gage. Shut the fuck. Marufuji. Marufuji. You kidding me, bro? 121 Marufuji and Nick Gage is 112. Who's making this list on crack?
Nick Gage is making this list.
Omos is 120. You're telling me Omos is not better than Nick Gage? He will squash that nigga.
Omos would kill like 90% of the list.
Fuck out of here, bro.
In full kayfabe, Omos is just going to. I swear, a lot of people on this list were security. That Omos
the top dog Jonah is not better than Nick Gage, bro. Shut. 132. The top dog
ain't better than Nick Gage. I like that Nick Gage is so high, and all these people have beaten Nick Gage. Just like, what the hell?
Like, look at where Nick Gage is, and I'm just gonna give you like from like 130 on down, right? And these are people that he's allegedly better than: Ilya, El Lindemann, Jonah, Chris Bay, Happy Corbin, Dragon Lee, Kenta, Santos Escobar, like Calvin Tankman, Jay Uso, like TJP. Get the fuck out of here! No, I'm not accepting this.
This is the
just
line.
In that exact order.
Don't know what Nick Gage could have done. Like, I understand that he is the GCW, he was the former GCW champion. But
you know who the Deathmatch King is?
It's Cordona's son. Cordona family for life.
That man.
But in this category, back to this one, to the top 200 to what, I forget what number we're on.
Yeah, 200 to 101.
101. I have Brody King, Claudio, aka Cesaro, and I put Dax in there. Even his solo run.
Uncle Dax made the cut.
Yeah.
Uncle Dax made the cut 101. I agree with you with Uncle Dax. Uncle Dax is exactly where he should be.
Yeah.
101.
And the sky's the limit for Dax. Dax goes out there and just puts on bangers. He reminds me of like a Sheamus or somebody just going out there. He's going to give you a good match no matter who he's with or when it's going to happen. And it's not going to be fully appreciated because people are going to see him as a tag wrestler instead of a actual singles competitor. But I like his singles. He reminds me of like a musical artist who's in a group and then they drop their own solo album. You're like, damn, that was good. They should go solo, but they're better in the group. He's better.
So you said Uncle Dax, you said Cesaro, and who else?
Brody King.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you. So right off the rip,
this was tough. This is probably the toughest one we did because Jonah and Jeff Cobb are fucking monsters.
All right, you know, I'm picking Top Dog, right? Yeah, Top Dog.
Yeah,
motherfucker beat Okada. Stop playing games. Stop fucking playing games with me. All right. In this list, shout outs to Masha Slamovich for freaking even making this list and making it high as fuck.
Yeah,
you are killing the game right now. I know, like she's a New York native, fucking from the Fallout Shelter, Battle Club Pro, all of that. Like I'm watching the Indies, fucking to be where she's at now. She's about to wrestle for the Impact Women's Championship at fucking Bound for Glory. That's just gonna go down. Hopefully she wins. Masha Slamovich definitely deserves to be on this list. Definitely higher than a lot of the motherfuckers on this list. But again, like, you know, no disrespect to fucking Masha, but you know, the names like Marufuji, Keno from like Pro Wrestling Noah, freaking, you know, Sheamus, Chris Bay, Jonah, like it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. And then shout out to my boy fucking Kenta, you know, getting his book out there. Shout out to my boy Kenta getting his book out there. Somebody that's on this list that really shouldn't be on this list, even though he's doing good work, Hook should not be as high as he is. If anything, he should be like where Big Game Leroy is, and swap Big Game Leroy with Hook. But
Hook hasn't had a real match yet.
Yes, I agree.
If you think about Hook his entire career, there are all these quick squashes against a lot of smaller, not smaller, but like lower tier AEW dark wrestlers who aren't really going anywhere. I know he beat Ricky Starks, but that was a fluke kind of win.
The man is teaming with Action Bronson tonight to face fucking Jericho's bullshit lackeys. So we'll see.
Shout out to the Grand Slam show. It's a stacked ass show.
Yeah,
I mean, DJ Who Kid is announcing. It's gonna be
DJ Woo Kid, nigga.
Woo! Which was the most out of nowhere. I was like, oh, they're really going all the way with this.
Son, I wish I could go, bro. I can't. It's like Arthur Ashe. Damn.
All right. Back to the PWI where we can get angry. Some more. But yeah, this little top 200, like this is where things got tough. And then I was like, I don't know who this person is, but they probably deserve their spot. Maybe they didn't, maybe they not. In the top 100 though.
Top 100.
I have questions.
So these are the top 100 wrestlers, and if you ask anybody about anybody, like any one of these wrestlers could pop out of your mouth, and we should be able to pick them off right away, know them some way, shape, or form. Whether it's like on the indie circuit, whether it's on Japan, Mexico, Britain, anything. Like anybody on this list, you should be able to off the rip name.
Okay. All right. Ninja Mac. Who the hell is Ninja Mac?
So Ninja Mac is actually wrestling in Pro Wrestling Noah. He reminds me of like a Ricochet, but he's like he wrestles in a lucha mask as a ninja. Pro Wrestling
I hope so.
yeah. He wrestles in Pro Wrestling Noah, and to say that he's slightly above Kyle O'Reilly is kind of a little stretch, but at the same time, it's like, you know, he's up there. He is up there.
Yeah, Kyle's in my top 50, but you know, just in theory, just as a wrestler, I think he's one of the best. Is he the best personality out there? Nah, but he's probably one of the best technical wrestlers we have in wrestling today.
I like the fact that Theory made the top 100.
Yeah, I mean, he's carrying Money in the Bank. He's Vince's chosen one, and Theory's a good wrestler. He's good. It's just that he's never going to get credit because he's going to be. I guess people are going to associate him as being Vince's guy, even though Vince isn't even around anymore. He's still carrying his own weight. Him and Kevin Owens right now are having a good feud, and sprinkled in with Gargano in there. It may lead into a Survivor Series match of some kind of Team Theory against Team Owens or something like that.
Motherfucking War Games. Hello.
War Games. I say they should have let William Regal come back on loan for AEW just to call
Just
out
say it
more
one
games.
time.
Just the one line.
More games.
More games. So here are my questions on this list that I disagree with. Trevor Murdoch in full as the NWA champion should be higher than a lot of people on this list. He should be higher than Nick Aldis for sure, who is not the champion and hasn't been for a minute or two. Who else on this
Ooh, that's
list?
tough. What? Oh my God.
Which one are you looking at?
Lord have mercy. I was just seeing who's ahead of him, or
he has stiff competition. Like I would put him ahead of Alex Shelley. Alex Shelley, I feel like is a little high.
But like Mystico,
Alex Shelley.
Mystico should be where Trevor Murdoch is.
Yeah, I think I would move Mystical and Alex Shelley down and bring AJ and Trevor Murdoch up. Absolutely. It might just be one or two spots, but they should be moved up. Naito at 62. That's I'm shocked he didn't break the top 50. He didn't make the top 50. That's crazy.
Looking at the names that's in this top 50, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, this top 50 is a tough list.
Yeah,
the top 25 is just crazy.
Yeah, but I feel like Naito should be ahead of Nick Aldis and Ricochet, and I don't even know if Ibushi's wrestled this year, and even he should be a higher Priest too as well.
Yeah, Damian Priest should be a little bit higher. Shout outs to Trish Adora for making number 50. Mm-hmm. Number 50. The 50 best top 50 best wrestler in the world, allegedly, to the list. But for Trish Adora to make it right there, fantastic. And I don't even think that she belongs there. She's definitely leagues ahead of Trey Miguel and Daniel Garcia. She should be right underneath Randy Orton.
Ooh. Damn, that's high praise. That's really high praise right there.
I've watched her live. I've seen her matches. I've watched her wrestle women. I've watched her wrestle men. She's good. She's damn good. So
we also have in this top 50 or whatever, Minoru Suzuki, Shinsuke Nakamura. I feel like there's a lot of people around it. I feel like Eddie Kingston is a little high in the top 40. I like Eddie Kingston, but I don't feel like he's not a
top 50 wrestler.
Yeah, he's not better than Randy Orton.
He's a top 100 wrestler. He's not a top 50 wrestler.
Yeah, I don't know how he's ahead of Randy Orton.
Or Jacob Fatu. Hold up, where's Eddie Kingston at? Where's Eddie Kingston at?
Eddie Kingston's at number 40.
He's at number 40. How the fuck is he better than Naito, Go Shizaki, fucking Laredo Kid, Edge, who had a fantastic year, Ciampa, who had a fantastic year, Alex Shelley, Dragunov, who had a way better year than half of these motherfuckers on this list.
Dragunov should be arguing the top 10. He should argue top 10.
Top 15. I'll give it 15. Not top 10, but top 15. Definitely for sure. If not 15, then 14. But yeah, because he had a fantastic fucking year, despite the injury. Yeah, not better than Keith Lee, not better than Andrade, not better than Malachi, not better than AJ, not better than Ishii, not better than Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes should be way higher.
Yeah. With respect to Carmelo, don't miss. I'm just shocked at how high Eddie Kingston is when you look at it and you start listing all the names under him and you go like, I'll put that over. Like I would put Fatu.
I would put Kofi Kingston over Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, that's the
Kofi Kingston over Eddie
in wrestling.
What the fuck did Jungle Boy do besides get betrayed? Fuck out of here.
Also, Sammy Guevara is too high for me too as well. At
Where's
28.
Sammy at?
He's at number 28. Right under Real Ospreay. And I'm talking about we can move some people down. Braun Breaker can be moved down.
No.
Yeah.
Zack Sabre Jr. is below Sammy Guevara? Yes. Are you fucking crazy?
It's insane.
You fucking crazy?
Are you? Yeah, that's one of the most insane thing.
Bandito? You're saying that Sammy Guevara is better than Bandito? fuck out of here, bro.
Hold on. Sammy Guevara is better than Ace Austin? Nah.
Not even what?
Sammy Guevara is better than Kevin Owens?
Kevin Owens and Xavier Woods and Scorpio Sky, Desperado, Eddie Kingston, Psycho Clown, Jacob Fatu, Wheeler Yuta.
That whole era right there.
Randy Orton, he's better than Randy Orton, the GOAT?
Yeah, they could flip this list upside down, and that's where Sammy would be at, because all those people,
where
Sammy Guevara, I have above him.
Sammy Guevara belongs right below Trish Adora. That's where he belongs on this list. Trish Adora and then Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, I would have to do some swapping. Like, I'm not even Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee are above. Sami Zayn is above. There's so many wrestlers. Ibushi, Pac,
Jake
Ray Phoenix.
Jake Lee and Hichiro should be fucking way the fuck back there. Like, we're talking like 200s, 300s. That's where they should be. And then move some of these motherfuckers up. Because get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, this is outrageous. It's outrageous. But these tops, the top 20 is where I'm like, I can't argue anybody in that top 20. Maybe I throw Will Ospreay in there over, like,
First of all, Hangman Page, who is number 4, has no business being anywhere in this top 10. Let's just put it out there.
Hey, he was AEW champion for about 4 months. You can give him that.
I don't give a fuck. Big E was the WWE champion, and fucking you got heel Del Viking fucking at number 8. Get the fuck out of here. Adam Page has no business on this fucking list for being not like, that's the top 5 guys in wrestling right now. No. Get him lower. MJF should be where he's at. No funny shit. With or without a championship, MJF should be where Adam Page is at. No funny shit.
Yeah. There should be a bunch of stuff just moved around in this.
Seth Rollins.
Here.
Seth Rollins should replace where Big E is.
Yeah, I think Zack Sabre Jr. should replace Moose for sure. Like there's a lot. I'll put Kevin Owens where Jericho is. I'll still put him ahead of him. Jericho, is who he is. He's like a legend and all that, but I'm putting Kevin Owens ahead of him. Josh Alexander should be in the top 10.
Jay White should be in the top. Jay White should be in the top 10, hands down. He's beaten every fucking body, and he's the fucking IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Get the fuck out of here, Yeah. Cody Rhodes should be on like the 15 or not 15, but like Cody Rhodes, Matt Cardona, and fucking not MJF, Seth Rollins, Adam Cole. They should be like right in the mix of each other between that 11, 12, and 13 spot.
The only reason Cody makes the only reason they should probably have Cody making the top 10 is because of the way he moved the news this year with him jumping, going back and forth. But other than that, he ain't did shit.
I mean, he wrestled with a fucking torn pec and Hell in a Cell. You got to give him that.
He had that trilogy at Rollins. The trilogy at Rollins was a hell of a match.
Yeah,
that's true.
So you got to give him.
Adam Cole can actually drop a little bit. Adam Cole had.
Adam Cole got to drop a little bit. Drew McIntyre is ahead of Adam Cole. Moose is ahead of Adam Cole. Jericho's ahead of Adam Cole. Jay White.
And I like Omega, but Omega will probably drop a little bit more because he was out with injury for most of the year. Most of the year he's been injured. So like him and Big E were people who would drop because of injury.
Will Ospreay should go where Big E is. No funny shit. Jonathan Gresham could stay right there. Bryan Danielson got robbed out of the top 5 spot. Bobby Lashley, he got robbed out of the top 5. He should be right there underneath Punk, but like Punk shouldn't even be there.
Punk is probably honestly,
realistically.
9. Yeah.
And then the top 2 could flip flop for all I care. I mean, Roman Reigns is the tribal chief, and Okada is like the super god. So like,
they are the 2 best in the industry. I'm not going to even argue with that one. That's the number 1 they got right. I can see when them starting the list, it's like Okada and Roman number 1 or 2. Who you want to go with? And they're like flip a coin. But I would say Roman just because of the length of his title reign.
Length of his title reign. The motherfucker got leukemia. He is he's the fucking guy right now. Yeah. Literally. Like everyone knows Roman Reigns right now. Everybody's fucking with Roman Reigns right now. And as much as people are fucking with Okada, people don't know Okada.
All right. So who was your top 3 in the last 100? Mine is going to be different than probably yours. It might be the same. Actually,
You know. We gotta acknowledge our tribal chief. We the ones.
yep. He the ones. He's
We
my
the
number
ones.
one. He's the
And
first
then
one I put.
obviously Okada goes number 2. It's that number 3 spot. It's that number 3 spot that's gonna be the
Yeah,
difference.
I changed it up. I'll tell you this: my number 3 isn't in the top 70 wrestlers.
Top 70. So it's
Not
gonna be
even in the top 70.
somebody like you're talking about Dragunov.
Nope. In fact, my person isn't even in the top 80.
80?
I just looked at it. Not even in the top 80.
You talking about fucking Sami Zayn, nigga? Fuck.
Nah, Sammy was close. I like Sammy, but nah, it's not Sammy.
Not even in the top 80.
Not even the top 8. I feel like this is a service because all this person does is throw out bangers. And I think he's being punished because they changed his name. It's Gunther. Gunther should be
okay.
He should be a lot higher on this list. But they have him at, I think, 91, somewhere in there, behind all these people.
Yeah, 91.
Like,
91.
especially Eddie Kingston, where he wrestles Eddie Kingston style better than Eddie Kingston style, even imagine. Like, all right. Gunther's in my top 3. Those are my top 3. Okada, Gunther, and Roman.
Well, I'm a little biased, so I would say Jay White should be on that 3rd spot, but that's not even being biased. Like, Jay White has moved the fucking needle too. People are not putting respect on this man's name. Fucking, he is the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. He is the real last rock and roller. He is fucking. He's changing shit with just his name. He's just like J Cup, J this, J that, J1, J that. Like, he's moving the fucking needle in Japan and the wrestling world. He's the catalyst of pro wrestling for a reason. He's done this. Like, everything that he says, it's like a fucking prophecy. If he's like, oh, I'm going to do this, guess what? He's going to fucking do it.
Yeah.
Everything everything that came out of that man's mouth, whatever he's talking in a promo or whatever not, and he's like, I'm going to end up doing this. Sooner or later, it gets done.
Shout out to Jay White. I don't know who this is, but this person was not ranked according to Levi. June Kasi, was he ranked? And I don't think so. They were not. I looked them up. They weren't. But also Levi released his top 5 wrestlers of the past year. Whoops, I selected the wrong one. Number 5. I'm assuming this isn't serious. Mandy Rose did not make this list. Nor did Charlotte Flair, nor did Sasha or Bayley or anybody like that.
That's what fucks me up. That's what really fucks me up.
Bianca wasn't even on the list.
How is Charlotte not on this list at all? You have Lufisto, who's retired, and then you have Charlotte, who's on vacation, and Charlotte's not on this list. Becky's not on this list. Fucking Bianca's not on this list. Bayley's not on this list. What?
All those people.
Jordan Grace is on this list. Trisha Dora's on this list. What the fuck?
Once I saw I feel like that's why I believe there were no women on the list, and then you'll see like Kaylee Ray, Shamovic and Nightingale, but I
guess this. These also are women who actually wrestle with the men, so that's probably why they put them on this list, because they have them on a woman's list.
Maybe, I don't know.
That could be the reasoning. I'm just playing devil's advocate over here.
He could be. That could be true.
Because Jordan Grace been wrestling niggas all the time. Masha wrestles niggas all the time. Trish, just mentioned Trisha Dora is fantastic.
Oh, maybe.
Whether she's in the ring with women, whether she's in the ring with men, she's fantastic in the ring. So that could be it. I'm looking for your Jin Kasai, and I'm not seeing him anywhere.
Yeah, he didn't make it.
That's tough because he's actually really good.
At number 4, he put Matt Riddle. Pretty high for Riddle, but I like Riddle a lot. He went with Ospreay at number 3. It's a good choice.
27 or some shit like that. Travesty.
CM Punk, number 2.
CM Punk should be nowhere near the top 5. Sorry, not sorry.
He's had good matches.
I said nowhere near the top 5. I didn't say he's not a top 10 wrestler. I said not the top 5.
Nowhere near the top 5. Dang. And then
Adam Page and CM Punk. Dax has got to be like the top 30 wrestlers in the world right now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because it's his tag stuff and his solo stuff. It's just like, damn, has he? I don't think Dax has messed up anytime this year. Where I go like, fuck,
Dax
I gotta
is
watch
making
Dax
his case. Dax is making his case to being the Shawn Michaels of the fucking group. There's nothing that fucking Cash Wheeler could do about it. He ain't got a better name.
Yeah. But that was the PWI top 500. We kind of went over every single name for the most part. We covered as many as we could. It's 500 days. Check it out yourself. See where we're right. See where we're wrong. Put in the comments. Like and subscribe. Blah, 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 blah. All that stuff. Send us your list of your top 10. Or what was the biggest crime in the
atrocity?
The atrocity. What was your biggest, like, what the fuck is this?
What was mine?
Yeah, what was yours?
Why the fuck is fucking Hangman Page in my top 5? The fuck is going on here?
I think mine is the Sammy Guevara at 28, whatever that is. How is he ahead of all these people? Like, that's my biggest.
Lufisto is on the list and she's retired. It makes no sense. Hope it makes sense.
I'm shocked we didn't give Ric Flair at 500 for his last match.
Yo, I would be so remiss if I seen Ric Flair on this list.
But you had to have 10 matches in the year. You had to have 10.
Shout out to Effie for making it the pansexual, transsexual. Well, not transsexual. Yeah. He's just a gay wrestler, but like he's really good. People don't want to acknowledge him, but guess what? He's here and he's queer and he's doing the damn thing.
Yeah, I watched his preparation for the show and whatever. I watched the Effie's Big Gay Bash or whatever during the SummerSlam weekend.
It was great. It was a great show.
Yeah,
good show.
So check that out. Like, there's some people on this list where I think people need to not sleep on.
Yo,
my main question: who do you have on this list that is, somewhere in their stratosphere or on your list that you think is going to be number one next year? Let's say something happened if Roman isn't number one, or Okada isn't there, or Jay White, or none of the mainstays in the top 10 or 20 that you see. Who's somewhere out of the sleeper that you got is like, damn, they number one?
Don't be surprised if Jonah makes a big splash. No pun intended.
Oh, that was a pun intended.
Don't be surprised if Josh Alexander makes it higher on this list, especially with the matches that he's got coming up. Yeah, man. Like, I don't know, man. Some of these guys have to have a big run. Kevin Owens has to have a big run, win the Royal Rumble or something, and then fucking take down the Tribal Chief to be number one.
Well, not number one. Just move up a lot, like move up 100 spots into the top 20 or something like that.
So if we're talking like that, then you gotta do. I'm talking Shane Taylor, Darius Carter, fucking Brian Keith. Those guys definitely. Mysterious Q is on here. Fantastic wrestler right there from Texas. I don't know, man. Like, there's just so many. Don't be surprised if Dominic Mysterio doesn't make a gigantic push. Fucking don't be surprised. Other than that,
combo is a serious threat.
Other than that, then just look at the list.
I got Charles Mason making a big leap.
Huge leap.
Because I don't know where they have. He's at 104.90 or whatever the hell they have him. He's going to make a huge leap, I believe, ahead of everybody. Dominic Mysterio has potential to do it if he really taps into this heel persona and, people really start to really get behind hating him.
Somebody I did not see on this list, but I did see Jay Bougie on this list, PJ Savage. I wouldn't be surprised if I see PJ Savage on this list next year.
I believe I saw PJ Savage. No, that was PJ Hawks. I remember seeing. PJ Savage.
Yeah, PJ Savage should be on this list next year, somewhere. Hopefully.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people.
If fucking Slade and Don't Die Miles made this list, then PJ Savage got to be on this list somewhere. They still made this list. God damn it.
Well, retired. Retired. Had 10 matches within the year, though.
Tiger Mask made this list. Fucking Ricky Buttons made this fucking. Oh my god, bro! What the hell?
This list is I
am gonna buy this copy. I'm gonna do a deep dive into it. I'll talk about it on the mid card mess sometime soon. I'll do a deep dive.
Yeah, and for more of the Three Faces of Jemal, check them out on Three Faces of Jemal on SoundCloud, on the Mid Card Mess podcast. Let me point in this direction down here. You can see the giant box right here under his name. But yeah, this was a really good deep dive into the PWI. But next year, I think we need to come up with our own list with our top 100. I don't want to do 500 because
we're gonna need the whole crew for this one.
Yeah. We're going to come up with our own. The Sharpshooters present. The Mid-Card Mess present. It'll be a collective event where we come up with our top 5. Maybe we do it at the end of the year this year. For the year of 2022, from January 1st, WWE's basically pay-per-view day 1, all the way to December 31st, who was the top wrestlers of the year. It'll be a collaborative event of the Mid-Card Mess and the Sharpshooters Podcast Network, whatever we got to
do a shorter list. It's got to be definitive. Like, there's a lot of room for error with the 500 list. It's got to be like a top 50 or top 100.
50. Top 50.
Because there is no mistakes. 50? There is no mistakes when it comes to those like wrestlers that we're gonna choose, and we're picking them out from everywhere. So it's gonna be interesting.
Ooh, this seems like a project. It seems like a project. I love creating more work for myself.
Gotta make sure that gotta talk to Manny, talk to Eric, talk to Ross.
Get Maurice involved. I get everybody. We're all involved.
Get Clint
for sure, because he's seen 5,000 different wrestlers and taking amazing pictures of them all. Roland as well. All of those guys. Get them all involved. We get our top 50 pro wrestlers in the world at the end of the year. Or maybe we should do 22 for 22, and it just keeps adding for each
22 for 22. Yeah, we can do that too. Yeah,
that would be every year. It adds one more wrestler. 23. Although 22 is hard because I think but it'd be interesting to see where people will rank on the 22 because it's a harder cut. It's a harder cut. It's like, oh dang, I can't have let's say if I wanted to put Darby Allin or Ray Phoenix or something like that. I'm like, I don't know which is which. Maybe I don't even include either one in my top 22 at this point. Like,
yeah, because they haven't been champions. So there you go.
Well,
because we have to create criterias and all that stuff like that. I'll come up with the criteria. You'll come up with the criteria. We'll mesh it together, and then we'll toss it around. Be on the lookout for that. I'm actually excited for that.
That'd be a fun project to do. We got a few more months left in the year anyway. This would be a good time where people can really take notes and really like hone in like who's really killing it this year. And but before we know it, Logan Paul can be the champion by the end of the year.
Oh my fuck.
What Saudi wants, it's not what Poppy wants, Poppy gets. It's what Saudi wants, Saudi gets. Oh man. So Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania. Can't wait.
Logan Paul gonna destroy Bad Bunny.
People keep going about who's the white rabbit. Oh dang, it's Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Joining the Judgment Day. All right, but that concludes our show. I thought it was a good show too. All right, Jemal, have a good night. Rest of you guys, hope you enjoyed this show or good day. I don't know what day it is. I don't know.
Somebody's still sleeping.
Yeah, I'm still sleeping. I got mentally prepared for the grind of the work week this week. All right, so you guys have a great night. Goodbye.